Have you ever felt like you're living in a world where trust is as fragile as glass? And today, I want to take you on an eye-opening journey through the maze of human relationships. Did you know that trust, the very foundation of all our connections, can be shattered in less time than it takes to blink? Yes, it's that delicate and that crucial. I want you to think about the last time someone broke your trust. How did that feel? Like the ground was slipping away beneath your feet, right? Well, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to explore the unseen, intricate threads that weave the tapestry of trust in our relationships. From the friends who stand by us to the ones who let us down, we'll uncover why trust is the invisible, yet unbreakable bond that either holds our relationships together or tears them apart. And I promise you, by the end of this journey, you'll look at your connections with others in a whole new light. So, if you're ready to dive deep into the essence of human bonds and discover how to build stronger, more meaningful relationships, stay with me. This isn't just another talk. It's a journey to the heart of what makes us human. Let's get started. 1. The manipulator. You know, the kind of person who could sell sand in the desert? That's them. But here's where it gets interesting. Manipulators are not just smooth talkers. They're like chess players in the game of life. They know exactly which piece to move to get what they want. And sadly, sometimes we're those pieces. But why are we talking about manipulators in a conversation about trust? Because, my friends, understanding a manipulator is crucial to understanding trust itself. The Stoics taught us something invaluable here. It's not just about what happens to us, but how we react to it. And when it comes to manipulators, our reaction is our power. Think about it. A manipulator thrives on your reactions, your anger, your frustration, your eagerness to please. They push your buttons, not just to get a reaction, but to control it. It's like they have this map of your emotional landscape, and they know all the shortcuts to get where they want. But here's where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. When you're dealing with a manipulator, what you can control is your response. Instead of getting swept up in their games, step back. Observe their actions with the detachment of a Stoic philosopher. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Powerful, right? So when you're dealing with a manipulator, remember this. Your mind, your reactions, your emotions are your domain. No one gets to play puppet master with them. But how do you spot these master manipulators? Well, they often come wrapped in charisma, wearing a mask of sincerity. They're the ones who are a little too charming, a little too agreeable, a little too interested in your life. They'll flatter you, play to your ego, all the while weaving their web around you. Here's a tip. Watch for inconsistencies in their stories, promises that seem too good to be true, and an eagerness to create emotional debt. And the moment you feel like something's off, trust that feeling. Your intuition, coupled with a Stoic sense of self-awareness, is your best defense. But it's not all doom and gloom. Dealing with a manipulator can actually be a powerful learning experience. It can teach you about boundaries, about the value of honest communication, and most importantly, about your own strengths and vulnerabilities. In a way, encountering a manipulator is a test of your Stoic principles. It challenges you to maintain your integrity, to stay true to your values, and to not let anyone else dictate your emotions. It's about knowing that while you can't control what they do, you can definitely control how you respond to it. 2. The Constant Critic. You know the type, right? They're the ones who always have something negative to say, no matter the situation. It's like they have a PhD in finding faults. Now, why is it important to understand this type of personality especially in the light of Stoicism? Well, because Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships, it's about understanding the nature of human behavior, including those who criticize us relentlessly. Remember, the Stoics were big on the idea of focusing on what's within our control, and how we deal with critics is definitely within that realm. So, imagine you're sharing your latest achievement or a new idea with someone, and instead of encouragement, you're met with a barrage of criticism. It stings, doesn't it? But here's where the teachings of Epictetus come in handy. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is golden advice when dealing with constant critics. Critics, you see, are often projecting their own insecurities and dissatisfaction onto others. It's less about you and more about their own internal struggles. They might be dealing with feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, or their own unmet goals. Understanding this can shift the way you perceive their criticism. It's not a reflection of your worth, but a mirror of their own internal battles. But how do you handle this constant stream of negativity? First, take a step back and ask yourself, is there any truth to this criticism? Sometimes, even the harshest critique can contain a kernel of truth that can help us grow. This is where the Stoic practice of self-examination comes in. Reflect on the feedback objectively without letting your emotions cloud your judgment. If you find there's no merit to the criticism, then here's a Stoic strategy for you. Practice indifference. The Stoics believed in not giving power to things that don't contribute to our growth. If the criticism doesn't help you improve, then it doesn't deserve your energy or emotional response. Remember, Stoicism teaches us resilience, the art of maintaining our inner peace despite external circumstances. So, when faced with a constant critic, remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius's wise words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But let's not forget, not all criticism is bad. Sometimes it's necessary for our growth. The trick lies in discerning what to take on board and what to let go. It's about finding that balance, listening, reflecting, and then choosing the path that aligns with your values and growth. And if you ever find yourself slipping into the role of the constant critic, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is my feedback constructive, or am I projecting my own issues? This level of self-awareness is what Stoicism aims to cultivate. 3. The Perpetual Friend. This person seems to be everyone's best buddy, always in the thick of social gatherings, charming and affable. But here's the catch. Sometimes their friendship feels more like a mile-wide lake that's an inch deep. Sure, they're everywhere, but are they really there for you when it counts? Now, why dissect this character through a Stoic lens? Stoicism, at its core, is about authenticity, understanding the nature of things, and fostering genuine human connections. The Perpetual Friend challenges us to look beyond surface-level interactions and ask, what really makes a friendship meaningful? You see, the Perpetual Friend is a master at making connections, but often these connections lack depth. They're like the sun on a hazy day. You can feel the warmth, but you can't quite see the light. It's important to remember the Stoic idea of focusing on quality over quantity. In friendships, it's not about how many friends you have, but the depth and sincerity of those relationships. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, talked about the importance of choosing friends who are honest, loyal, and have our best interests at heart. Now, think about it. Does the Perpetual Friend fit this bill? They might be fun at parties, always ready with a joke or a smile, but when the chips are down, are they the ones standing by your side? Here's where another Stoic practice comes into play: discernment. It's essential to discern who in our lives are true friends and who are just acquaintances passing through. This doesn't mean we should shun the perpetual friend. Rather, it means understanding their role in our lives and setting realistic expectations. And let's flip the script for a moment. What if you find yourself playing the role of the perpetual friend? Stoicism teaches us the value of self-awareness and introspection. Ask yourself, am I cultivating deep, meaningful connections, or am I spreading myself too thin, trying to be everyone's friend? The reality is, deep connections require time, effort, and vulnerability, something the perpetual friend might shy away from. But remember, as Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. True friendship is about listening, being present, and showing up, not just in the good times, but especially in the challenging ones. 4. The pretender of attention. Picture this. You're sharing something important, and there they are, nodding and murmuring, "uh-huh," but their eyes are glued to their phone screen. Frustrating, isn't it? This person is physically present, but their mind is miles away. In the realm of Stoicism, this behavior is a fascinating study. Stoicism teaches us the importance of being present, both in the moment and in our interactions with others. The pretender of attention challenges this principle by offering a facade of presence without the substance of true engagement. Why does this matter? Because meaningful communication is the bedrock of all relationships. When someone pretends to pay attention, they're not just disrespecting your time, they're also eroding the trust and authenticity that Stoicism values so highly. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, emphasized the importance of genuine human connections. He would have viewed the pretender of attention as someone missing the essence of true interaction. But let's dive deeper. Why do people pretend to pay attention? Often it's because they're distracted by their own thoughts, concerns, or, more commonly in our tech-driven world, their digital devices. This behavior reflects a broader societal issue where the constant barrage of information has made sustained attention a scarce commodity. So, how do we deal with the pretender of attention? Firstly, it's about recognizing the value of your own words and time. As Epictetus advised, respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. This doesn't mean you should abruptly end all conversations with such individuals. Instead, it's about understanding the level of engagement you're likely to receive and adjusting your expectations accordingly. Moreover, this character offers us a mirror to our own behavior. Ask yourself, am I fully present in my interactions, or am I too a pretender of attention? Stoicism isn't just about observing others. It's profoundly about self-reflection and improvement. Here's a Stoic exercise for you. Next time you're in a conversation, practice being fully present. Listen actively, maintain eye contact, and engage with the person speaking to you. It's a form of respect, not just for the other person, but for the interaction itself. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. By being present, we honor the Stoic principles of respect, integrity, and mindfulness in our interactions. 5. The empathy lacking. This is someone who seems to struggle with understanding and sharing the feelings of others. It's like they're watching a movie where everyone else feels the emotions, but they just see the images. From a Stoic perspective, the empathy lacking presents an interesting conundrum. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of understanding our emotions and those of others. It's about developing an inner wisdom that allows us to connect with people on a deeper level. So, when we encounter someone who lacks empathy, it's like meeting a person who's lost a key part of their human experience. But why is empathy so crucial? Empathy allows us to feel with others, to share their joys and pains, and to understand their perspectives. It's the glue that holds human connections together. Without it, relationships can become superficial or even strained. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized the value of empathy when he talked about shared humanity and the importance of supporting each other. Now, dealing with someone who lacks empathy can be tough. You might feel unheard, misunderstood, or undervalued. It's like talking to a wall. No matter how much you express yourself, the emotional resonance just isn't there. So, what do we do in such situations? First and foremost, it's crucial to recognize and accept that not everyone has the same capacity for empathy. This isn't about excusing their behavior, but about understanding the limitations of their emotional landscape. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. This acceptance doesn't mean you should tolerate negative or hurtful behavior. It's more about understanding that some people may never provide the emotional depth or support you seek. This is where Stoicism teaches us about the art of detachment, not as a means of giving up, but as a way of preserving our inner peace and emotional well-being. Also, consider this a reminder to cherish those in your life who do show empathy. These are the people who make your joys more joyful and your sorrows more bearable. They're the ones who truly enrich your life. And here's something for self-reflection. How do we ensure that we don't slip into being the empathy lacking? Stoicism encourages us to develop self-awareness and work on our capacity to understand and share the feelings of others. It's about actively trying to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and to connect with their experiences. 6. The Provocateur. This is the person who seems to have a knack for pushing your buttons, getting under your skin with just a word or a gesture. They're like the artist who loves to paint in bold strokes of drama and conflict, often leaving us bewildered or frustrated. Now, let's look at the Provocateur through the lens of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us about maintaining our composure and not allowing external events, or in this case, people, to disturb our inner peace. The Provocateur really tests this principle. They challenge us to practice one of the core tenets of Stoicism, the art of remaining unperturbed in the face of provocation. So why do some people love to provoke? Often, it's because they enjoy the sense of control or superiority it gives them. It's like a game where each reaction they elicit is a point scored. But here's where the wisdom of the Stoics comes in handy. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This is incredibly powerful when dealing with the Provocateur. When you react with anger or annoyance, you're playing right into their hands. You're giving them exactly what they want. But imagine, just for a moment, if you chose not to react, if you met their provocations with calmness and a measured response. You'd be taking back control, choosing not to let their actions dictate your emotions. Dealing with the Provocateur is also an exercise in self-awareness. It's about understanding your triggers and why certain things get under your skin. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about understanding them and responding with reason and clarity. When you feel provoked, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, why is this bothering me? Is my reaction going to improve this situation? And here's something interesting. The Provocateur often reveals more about themselves than they do about you. Their need to provoke may stem from their own insecurities, fears, or desire for attention. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, talks about looking beneath the surface to understand the true nature of people's actions. Also, let's not forget to look inward. Are there times when we, perhaps unintentionally, play the role of the Provocateur? Stoicism teaches us the value of introspection and the importance of being mindful of how our words and actions affect others. In conclusion, understanding and dealing with the provocateur is a profound exercise in practicing Stoic principles, maintaining our inner tranquility, understanding our emotions, and responding with reasoned composure. I'd love to hear about your experiences with the provocateur. How do you stay calm and composed? Share your strategies in the comments below. You never know who might find your advice exactly what they need. 7. The Perpetual Victim. This is the person who always seems to be caught in a storm of misfortune, never at fault, always the target of life's injustices. You know them, right? They're the ones who, no matter the situation, somehow find a way to be the victim in it. From a Stoic standpoint, the perpetual victim is a fascinating study. Stoicism teaches us the importance of personal responsibility and the power of our perceptions. It's about understanding that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we interpret and respond to these events. The perpetual victim, however, often overlooks this empowerment, choosing instead to see themselves at the mercy of fate. Why is this mindset problematic? Well, for starters, it can create a cycle of negativity and helplessness. When someone constantly perceives themselves as a victim, they give away their power to change their circumstances. Remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is key in understanding the perpetual victim. Now, dealing with the perpetual victim requires patience and empathy, but also firmness. It's easy to get pulled into their narrative of endless misfortune. While it's important to offer support and understanding, it's equally important not to enable this perpetual victimhood. This is where the Stoic principle of empathy balanced with rationality comes in. It's also vital to encourage the perpetual victim to see things from a different perspective. Gently guide them towards reflecting on their role in their circumstances and the choices they can make moving forward. However, remember the Stoic teaching that we can only control our actions and thoughts, not those of others. So, while you can offer guidance, the choice to change their perspective ultimately lies with them. Another important aspect here is setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches us the value of protecting our peace of mind. Constant exposure to negativity can be draining, and it's important to take care of your own emotional well-being. And let's turn the mirror towards ourselves for a moment. Are there times when we slip into the role of the perpetual victim? Stoicism encourages us to practice self-awareness and take responsibility for our actions and perceptions. It's about breaking free from the victim mentality and embracing the power we have over our own lives. In conclusion, understanding the perpetual victim teaches us important lessons about responsibility, perception, and personal power. It's a reminder of the Stoic principles of self-awareness, responsibility, and the power of perception. 8. The two-faced gossip. This is the person who seems friendly to your face, but behind your back they spin a web of rumors and stories. They're like actors playing two roles simultaneously, and you never know which face is the real one. In the light of Stoicism, the two-faced gossip provides a crucial lesson in discernment and emotional resilience. Stoicism teaches us not to be perturbed by external opinions or gossip, but rather to focus on our own actions and integrity. The Stoics believed that the only thing we truly have control over is our character, and that should be our focus, not the deceitful chatter of others. But why do people gossip? Often, it stems from their own insecurities, a need for attention, or a desire to manipulate social dynamics in their favor. They might feel empowered by knowing something others don't, or by swaying opinions. However, as Marcus Aurelius advised, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In other words, don't stoop to their level, instead, rise above it. Dealing with the two-faced gossip can be tricky. It's natural to feel betrayed or angry when you discover someone has been spreading rumors about you. However, the Stoic approach would be to detach yourself from these emotions and not let them dictate your actions. Remember, your worth is not determined by what others say about you. When you encounter gossip, whether about yourself or others, practice discretion. Consider the source and their motives. Is there truth to what's being said, or is it mere speculation? Stoicism teaches us the importance of truth and integrity, so before reacting, make sure you have the full picture. Also, reflect on how you handle information about others. Are you inadvertently playing a part in the gossip chain? The Stoics emphasize the importance of living a virtuous life, and this includes being trustworthy and respectful in our speech. Another Stoic principle that comes into play here is the concept of empathy and understanding. The two-faced gossip might be fighting their own internal battles, which leads them to act this way. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help us approach the situation with a more balanced perspective. In conclusion, understanding and dealing with the two-faced gossip is about maintaining your integrity, not letting others' words disturb your inner peace, and practicing discretion in your own speech. It's a real-life test of your Stoic mettle. 9. The toxic individual. This is someone who seems to spread negativity wherever they go. Their presence can feel draining, and interactions with them are often fraught with criticism, negativity, and conflict. It's like they carry a dark cloud with them, casting a shadow over your spirit. In the realm of Stoicism, dealing with the toxic individual is a profound exercise in emotional resilience and discernment. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of inner tranquility and not allowing external factors, or in this case, people, to disrupt our peace of mind. The toxic individual tests our ability to maintain our composure and not let their negativity infiltrate our emotional state. So, why do people become toxic? It's often a complex mix of their own unresolved issues, insecurities, and sometimes a deep-seated unhappiness. Their behavior, though hurtful, is usually a reflection of their inner turmoil. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This means showing empathy towards them, but also being firm in protecting your well-being. Dealing with the toxic individual requires a balanced approach. First, it's important to set clear boundaries. This isn't about being unkind, but about respecting your own mental and emotional space. Remember, you have the right to protect yourself from negativity and toxicity. Stoicism also teaches us about the art of detachment, viewing situations and people objectively without letting our emotions get the better of us. When interacting with a toxic individual, try to stay calm and composed. Don't let their words or actions provoke you into a reaction that's not in line with your values. It's also crucial to practice self-reflection. Ask yourself, why does this person's behavior affect me so deeply? Is there something within me that I need to address? Stoicism isn't just about dealing with external challenges. It's also about understanding and managing our internal responses. And what if we find ourselves exhibiting toxic traits? Stoicism encourages us to be constantly aware of our actions and their impact on others. It's about striving to be better, to live a life of virtue and integrity. In conclusion, understanding the toxic individual teaches us valuable lessons about emotional resilience, the importance of boundaries, and the power of our responses. It's a testament to the Stoic principles of inner peace, self-control, and personal growth. As we wrap up our journey through the intricate tapestry of human relationships, remember this: each person we meet, every interaction we have, is an opportunity to practice understanding, patience, and empathy. We've explored characters that challenge us, push us, and even sometimes hurt us, but each one also teaches us something valuable about ourselves and the world around us. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical guide for navigating the complexities of life and relationships. It teaches us to look within, to find strength, and to choose our responses with wisdom and compassion. So, as we part ways today, I encourage you to carry these lessons with you. Reflect on the people in your life, on your reactions, and on the vast potential for growth within you. Remember, in the grand theatre of life, you're not just an audience member. You're a key player, writing your own story, one interaction at a time. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. If you're eager to dive deeper and explore more about human behavior, emotions, and relationships, check out the playlist on your screen right now. There's so much more to uncover, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's spread wisdom and positivity together. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-hearted, and remember, the most profound journey is the one within. See you in the next video.